In today's video, brought to you by hardneckgarlic.com, we'll be discussing garlic scapes. Garlic scapes are unique to hardneck varieties only. We'll touch on the reason for the removal of the scape, the right and wrong ways to do so, and then provide you with some tips for using this early season delicacy in your kitchen and getting year-round enjoyment from it. This video was shot at our farm in southeastern Pennsylvania at the end of May 2020. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along at The Garlic Grower on YouTube. May 29th, 2020 here in southeastern Pennsylvania. We're getting ready to scape our turban varieties. Turbans are typically, well, not typically, they're always the earliest varieties both to scape and for harvest. A good couple of weeks early, so they're nice varieties to have in your garden to get some early garlic early in the summer. So today we're going to talk about scaping. Really simple, really easy. Let's start off first with what's a scape. So if you get in here and you look at these plants, you'll notice these Dr. Seuss looking like stems that are coming out of your garlic plant. They'll come up and they'll make a corkscrew, and then eventually they'll harden off and straighten. It's part of the way that garlic can reproduce. It can send up a scape, and it'll create, if you leave it on long enough, it'll create bulbous, which is genetically the exact same as the clove in the ground. Certain varieties of purple stripes will also set seed, which is a much longer story, where you'll get genetically different garlic. But today we're going to talk specifically about scapes. So that's what a scape is. What you want to do is you want to remove the scape from the plant. The reason you want to remove the scape from the plant is you want to make sure that the plant is focusing all of its energies on growing larger bulbs. And think about the amount of energy that's required, not only to form the scape, but also then to curl it, and then eventually straighten it and harden it. The scape will get as hard as a branch, be very difficult to cut if you leave it on too long. So you want to remove these when they're young and when they're tender before they spend a lot of energy. Now, there's a lot of conversation about the right way and the wrong way to remove a scape from the plant. We're going to show you what we believe to be the right way, and then also show you what we believe to be the wrong way. Important to note that you don't need any special tools to do this. The only thing we recommend is maybe some gloves, because the scapes are very juicy and flavorful, and also strong garlic smell from them, which may be great for social distancing in 2020, but stronger than probably what you want on your hands long term. It doesn't come off easily. So what you want to do is you want to get down to your plant, and you want to grab a hold of the stem, and you'll see the scape comes out of the top of the plant, out of the center, above the top leaf. And all you're going to do is between your thumb and your forefinger, so you're going to snap the scape off. Now if you look there, I've snapped that off about an inch above the top leaf. And you'll notice immediately there's a ton of moisture coming out of the center of that stem. That's the right way to harvest the scape. You want that above the leaf, so there's no opportunity for moisture or bacteria to get into your plant, and the top of that stem will callus off. Again, no special tools are required. All you're going to do is snap between your thumb and your forefinger, and you can do that fairly quickly. Not a lot of thought or precision to it. You're just grabbing a hold and snapping between your thumb and your forefinger. Now, let me just show you quickly what we recommend you not do. People talk about how the best part of the scape is the portion of the scape that's down in the stem. So what they want to do is they want to retrieve and pull as much of the scape out as possible. So they'll grab a hold of the stem, and instead of snapping, they'll pull. Now listen carefully. Now that one snapped, that one didn't pull well. So let me try again. Take two. You're going to pull. You hear how that sounded different? Now if you look at that scape, there's a much longer, where my fingers are at is about an inch above where I would normally snap. See how much more scape there was. That's great if you're growing garlic for scapes. I'm growing garlic for bulbs. I think most of you are growing garlic for bulbs. So what that does is if you look in the center of that plant where the scape was, you now have a hole in the top of the plant. This leaf makes a wonderful funnel for all the moisture and rain that's going to come in the next couple of weeks to run down straight into that hole. Remember, the stem, essentially the scape, is the top of the stem of the plant. That stem goes all the way down to the bulb. So now you've introduced an opening and an opportunity for all that moisture and all that bacteria to run down to the bulb and potentially create disease issues for you. So we strongly encourage you to not pull the scape, but instead snap the scape. Seeing some warm season weed pressure in these beds. We're going to harvest these in about 3 weeks. We're done weeding, other than maybe some pathway weeding. We won't do any weeding in the beds themselves anymore. Majority of these varieties are turbans. We do have 2 Asiatics growing in here. This particular variety right here is called Korean Mountain, and you can see it's just starting to scape. Very different kind of scape, very long umbral. These are probably another 7 to 10 days away from being able to harvest scapes off of them. Ideally, you want to scape on a sunny day. Fortunately, I have to leave for Vermont tomorrow, so I've got to get these scaped with the weather that I have today, which is a bit overcast, but important to do first thing in the morning so that that snap, that cut on the top of the scape has an opportunity to callus over and close off so that you don't get disease into your plants. Garlic scapes can be used as a substitute in any dish that calls for garlic. Just be mindful that garlic scapes will be milder in flavor, and therefore you may want to increase the amount that you use. It's also common to find garlic scapes pickled and also used in Asian stir-fry dishes, but the most common use is to make a garlic scape pesto. Here's a tip for you. Make a large batch of pesto when scapes are fresh, and freeze using ice cube trays. When frozen, pop out the cubes, and then bag individually, and then throughout the winter, when you want a fresh taste of summer, take a couple of cubes and throw in with a fresh pasta dish. Pre-orders for our garlic will begin on August 1st this year. Make sure to check out our website at www.hardneckgarlic.com for more than 90 varieties of unique heirloom hardneck garlics. And while you're here, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more updates from The Garlic Grower on YouTube.